Kit Kats can read. The Book Junkie Trials are here. So I watched the announcement video from Rachel Marie and I was really excited because I love monthly long readathons, especially when they're themed. It really challenges myself and I get to read amongst other people and I'm so excited. So this is going to last the whole month of July and there is a quiz that you can sort yourself onto to sort of like interpret which group you're going to be into. So I did the quiz and it turns out that I'm a Magi, a mage of magic, which is perfect because I absolutely adore Harry Potter. So I'm going to leave Rachel's YouTube and all of her other details, including the actual Twitter for the readathon, everything that you need to know in the description if you'd like to know more about the readathon, including Rachel's announcement video. But yes guys, it's happening. So there is a map and also in each team you have your own personal challenges as well, so it's very similar to the Biblio games and that sort of thing. So this time with the Magi, I'm going to go with you the challenges for the Magi and then the books that I have put towards the challenges of the Magi. So these are the prompts for the Magi. Number 1 is Orc Grove. Some say there is no talking to orcs, but a good political relationship is needed. Learn some orc customs by reading a book that is gruesome, gory or gritty. So for this challenge I have put There's Someone Inside Your House by Stephanie Perkins. I've had this since the release. I've heard it's kind of like a teen gore sort of book, so I thought this is perfect for this challenge. It was the first book that I thought of when I thought of gore. Challenge number 2 is Old Pirate Cove, shiver my timbers, you shall be walking the plank if you don't learn how to sail better. Read a book that takes place at least in part on sea. So for this one I have put The Princess and the Captain by Anne Laure Bondu. Pretty much gives it away with like princess and a captain, and as you can see on the cover there's water and it says on the back about setting sail. So obviously it takes place on water. I've owned this for many years now, before BookTube in fact, so it's embarrassing that I haven't got around to reading this book, and finally I've managed to be able to put it onto a TBR and hopefully I can get it read for the Book Junkie Trials. Challenge number 3 is Glimmer. This isle is alight with gems and crystals, one of the most picturesque spots in the High Queendom. Make sure you fit in with a beautiful or colourful book. So for this one I have put The Next Together by Lauren James because look at this cover, it's absolutely gorgeous and even on the back it's really pretty as well. So this is a time travel romance book. I've put it on many TBRs now and I'm excited to read it, but I just never get around to reading it, so I'm hoping that I finally can get around to reading this in the Book Junkie Trials. Challenge number 4 is Draconic Isle. Oh my, this island is swarming with wyverns and dragons. Brush up on your draconic knowledge with a book that features dragons. So for this one I have put Dragon Rider by Cornelia Funk, which is downstairs in my garage, and I'll be digging it out in July to give it a read. And I've owned this for quite a while as well. I think I got it from a library sale, so I'm really excited because I love books with dragons in and I'm looking forward to reading this adventure. And challenge number 5 is, I believe, where all teams should end up, which is the Bookie Grail, and it says here you find a lost manuscript delivered on this forgotten island by a fallen star. Read the group book, which is Stardust by Neil Gaiman. So I actually got this as a physical copy as well, downstairs in my garage. So yet again I'll be digging this out in July when this readathon starts, and I'm very excited to give this book a read. I've seen the movie of this book and I really do like it. I've got it on DVD as well. It's a very good movie, so I'm hoping that I enjoy the book. So with the Magi we have abilities as well as weaknesses. So with the abilities we've luckily been able to have a 3-day lead on other teams because it's our magic trick to bend time. So that's good, so that means we can start on the 28th. So we've got the 28th, 29th and the 30th of June that we can read some books on, which is brilliant. But our weakness means that we've got to read like another challenge, which is basically you are forced to read a book that is outside your comfort zone. So for this it's pretty much like any sort of like adult book, but I'm finding that this book is especially out of my comfort zone, and that is Alice by Christina Henry. I look at it and I find it so intimidating, even though it's not that big of a read, but it's so out of my comfort zone that I'm never really sort of in the frame of mind to read it. I'm so scared of it. So I think this is perfect because it's out of my comfort zone, and who knows, I might actually enjoy it. All I know is that it's pretty much a twist on Alice in Wonderland, but like adult style, so there's more bigger themes in this book than the actual children's version. So you don't actually have to go beyond that. You can just simply read the books that are for your team, and that can just pretty much be your readathon for the month, because I know some people, they don't read a lot of books a month. A lot of people are busy like myself, but I would like to push myself. I've been doing really well this month so far for the Bookie Games, and it's only like the 10th of June on this day of filming, so I'm doing really well in that. So I just want to push myself further with this readathon, and so I'm going to try and go above and beyond. So I'm going to read my team's books first, and then if I manage to read all of those books, then I'm going to go beyond and read the other books. So I just put some random books towards these challenges so that I can just go through with these ones too. So I'm just going to let you guys know the books towards the other challenges that I have put for this TBR. So the first one is Crimson Peaks. The peaks are about to blow, reread a favourite to soothe them into dormancy. So for this one I've put Girl on Lion by Zoe Sugg. This will be a reread for me. I really enjoyed this book the first time around, and I've been meaning to give it a read, and I'm hoping that I do enjoy this the second time around as well. The second challenge is Queendom Stone, a stone of our royal majesty. What are the royal customs of other lands? Read a book that features royalty. So for this one I have put The Iron King by Julie Kagawa. So this is a sort of royalty but in the fairy kingdom, which I think is perfect, and it's Julie Kagawa, and I don't hear a lot about this series as of late, but I've owned this book for quite a while, so I would like to get this read and see what I think about it. Next of all, we have The Forgotten Forests. All those open series, the forest knows and feels your forgetfulness. It will sing a mournful lament, tormenting you until you read the next book that's in the series. So for this one I have put Vampire Academy Blood Promised by Rochelle Mead. If I've managed to read this book in June, then I'll be going to the next book that's in this series, but I'm just holding it now because I haven't read this in June yet. So this will be the book if I don't read it in June. If not, it'll be the next book in this series. Next of all, we have The Weeping Falls. To pass through the rapids unscathed, you must give in to the falls. Read a tear-jerker. So for this challenge I have put The Million Pieces of Nina Gill, and this actually comes out in July, so it would be good to get this read in July. And this is about a girl who has sort of gone into a million pieces. They need to piece themselves back together, so it's a mental health sort of book, which I think is why it's going to be a bit of a tearjerker or really pull you here. And I don't know if I'm emotionally ready for it, but I think it's going to be really good because I do tend to really enjoy my mental health books. Next of all, we have Dwarf Mount. You spot a fair tavern wench, however the dwarf mind's grimy and dusty didn't evoke a very romantic feeling. Read a book with a hint of romance to get you back into the mood. So for this one I've put The Love and Lies of Roxana Ali by Sabina Khan. So this is an LGBT novel. This is about a girl who pretty much has been keeping secrets from her parents, and she has a girlfriend called Ariana. So not just with like themes of family, but obviously romance with having a girlfriend. Apothecary Towers, where the wizards dwell. Tricksters, they have blindfolded you and randomized all your books. Choose a book at random from your bookshelf. So I did this earlier, and the book that I picked was Dramas of a Teenage Heiress by Katie Birchall. So I pretty much was looking at my bookshelf and I just picked one at random. This was the book, but I'm really happy to give this a read. It's a fairly short read, so it shouldn't take me long to read. Perfect for a readathon, and I am very, very excited to read this. The Great Library. Are the Great Archives. Find and read a book that has been on your TBR for forever. So for this one I have put Just Listen by Sarah Dessen, which I have owned before BookTube as well, and I hear that it's got a girl in it that suffers from mental health, and I'm thinking it's going to be a very sort of hard book to read, but I've heard it's really good as well. The Drowning Deep, the Whirlpool, is so mesmerising. Read a book with rich world building that will suck you into its own world instead. So for this one, I'm going to be reading Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. I have this in my currently reading pile, which I need to go through and finish. I can't remember how far I'm into it. I think under 200 pages, so I need to just read more of this book and then get this finished during the month of July. Then we have The Elven Guard. They're surprised by your visit and are immediately on the offensive. Read a book with war, military or political themes to learn how to help calm the situation. So this one I would have to say was my most difficult to find a book for. So I sort of went for the theme of, in royalty there's always some sort of politics involved, so I went with another royalty book. So I went for the second book that's in The Princess Diaries Take 2 by Meg Cabot, and I just know from reading lots of royalty books that there's always something political involved, whether that's just to sort of show that you've got the power to stop other people from sort of like ruling and taking over. And so that's just like the end that I sort of went with, and that's why I put this book. This will be a reread for me because I read it years ago when I was a lot younger, and I'm also really excited. On the Hallow Isle, lurk incorporeal monsters and the ghosts of your past. Read an atmospheric or horror book to pass this test of nerve. So for this book I have put The Devouring Grey by Christine Lynn Herman, because I have heard that this is a very atmospheric book. This is absolutely gorgeous as well with the pink pages, and I'm so looking forward to this. I know that there's just something to do with this forest, and apparently it's just a haunting forest and totally atmospheric. Empty Barrel Inn. Everyone deserves a swig or two. Some say it even aids warming up those vocal cords. Enjoy an indulgent read. So for this one I have put No Big Deal by Bethany Rutter, and this book doesn't come out until August, but apparently it's a warm and funny and inspiring book that is about a fat girl that finds her foot in life and in female friendship, and about valuing themselves, and it's about body positivity, and I think this would be a perfect indulgent read, so I'm looking forward to this one. And then we have Giant Squid, a fearsome fellow. Read a book that intimidates you, and this foe shall be a doll. I was looking at the bookshelf behind me at the ones that I was finding the most intimidating, and this one, I mean, intimidating doesn't just mean like big books, it means like books that are just sort of scaring you to read in general. And so I put Trailers by Kate Levan. I'm so intimidated to read this because I've owned this so long and I don't know what I'm going to think about it. Yeah, the weird thing is I feel like I'm also going to enjoy it, so I don't really know, but all I know is it's pretty much about student life. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to think about it. I'm just finding it really intimidating to read this. So there you have it, guys. First of all, the challenges for my group, and then the rest of the challenges that I just have put books towards. I have to stick to this TBR because that's just the one main generic rule, but I'm really proud because I've managed to put some books that I have had for quite a while, some books that I need to push through with series, some books that I've received for review as well, and yeah, just books that I've had on TBRs that I should have got around to reading. So I'm feeling really happy with this TBR, and I'm going to just be selecting from these books, obviously starting with my group books first. Once I've read those, I'll go on towards the other challenges in any sort of order. I'm really excited about the Bookie Trials. Yeah, I am so looking forward to this readathon. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you've read any of these books that I've mentioned in today's video, let me know down below in the comments as well. Also, if you guys are participating, let me know what team you're on, and also what books you're planning to read, and anything. What books have you recently purchased and that sort of thing. But that's it from me, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this video. All of the details, like I say, will be in the description below, as well as all of my social media links if you'd like to follow me elsewhere. But that's it from me, guys. I'll see you all in the Bookie Trials. Keep smiling, keep reading, and be happy. My name is Katie, and I'll see you guys in my next video too. Bye!